So what we have done, so we have connected the Python program with MySQL database. So we have extracted the data, consumer data, that is number of units from the database, and then we calculated the bill amount in Python program, and then we exported that particular data to a web page. You know, so web page is connected to MySQL database, and it displays that particular value. So then you have to install MySQL database in your machine. Okay, and then there will be a host is basically identity for that particular MySQL database, and one port will be open for that particular database management system, and then there will be authentication, username, password will be there. Okay, using which you will log into that particular database. Okay, so some security. So all these things we have understood, and what kind of demo we have done in the previous class is basically this. Say we'll just re-execute that particular program. So this is the application what we have written, and what program is basically. So I'll just showcase print to end. So in JupyterLab, that means in Python, we have written one program. What is that program? That program is basically connecting to MySQL database and extracting the number of consumer and iterating that many number of times and calculating the bill amount, and then updating that particular database. Okay, so there will be one column, energy bill column. So we have updated that particular column. So that is what we have written this particular program. So then here one more additional library what we are using is config parser. So what we have done, instead of directly putting the configuration item in the program, we have kept all those configuration items in outside in separate file. Okay, and we have taken this configuration item. Okay, so name value pair. So from this configuration file we have taken to the Python program. Okay, so that is what we have did. So we have used config parser library, and MySQL is to execute MySQL operations. So then we have connected that particular database, and then we have we have executed many queries. Okay, so and then we updated the bill. So this is what program we have written. Okay, so now and what we understood, we have to install MySQL along with that. So what we have to install, we have to we should make sure that MySQL Workbench is installed in your machine. Okay, so these are the requirements. Okay, so requirement for you. So now in the MySQL Workbench alone, you can see the data and you can modify. So that is also possible. Okay, so then you can see here. Okay, here I am just modifying the number of units. Okay, say for example, I'll just modify that as 70 now. Okay, so now this 55 units, I'll just make it 65 units. Okay, so then after that, I'll just save that particular values in the database Workbench. Okay, this one you can feed it from any application or from the Python program itself. Now you can see here the energy bill value. Okay, even if you see, okay, so the updated value is not there. For 70 or 65 units, we need to calculate energy bill. So that task I am doing using Python program. So it is basically data analytics program. So when I run this particular program, you can see here the new bill amount is 280 and 260. So now when I refresh this particular database table, and that new value is coming. Okay, so the new value is coming. That means this program is connecting to that particular database and it is updating. So that we can ensure. Next, so what we have done, so normally they won't use MySQL. MySQL is just some kind of client. So normally database clients are normally web applications or mobile applications, correct? So database clients are normally web applications or mobile applications. So in that particular sense, say for example, if you want to, uh, uh, if you want to, uh, I mean, just to visualize data in some, web page. So I just created one, web page. Okay, so using, Node JS, programming language, and I just run that one. So anyway, that Node JS I will take up in the future classes. So I'll just run that particular, program. I'll just run that particular application. So that means I'll just start that particular server. Okay, Node.js application. I'll just start that particular server, and then I'll just see that particular application. So this is basically the applications what I created. Now you can see here the updated energy bill is there. So just to see the dynamics, so I'll change the number of units to say 706 and 654 something. I'll just apply the changes, and then what I'll do, I'll just come to the Jupyter lab, and then I'll run the program. Okay, so new value is calculated, and then I'll just go back to my browser, and I'll this web application I'll refresh. The new value is updated. So all these things, in this particular example, what you can see, the interconnection. So the connection between your application and the database. So that's the one thing what you have to understand. So so this is what we have done in the previous class. So today, so what we will learn, so we will learn something, this similar, okay, similar. So which is basically MySQL we have learned. So let us learn something called PostgreSQL. Okay, PostgreSQL. So this is also one, database management system. So, it is also RDBMS. Okay, so RDBMS, relational database management system, almost similar to, MySQL. So how you will interact with this PostgreSQL with Python. So this is what we have to understand. Okay, so this is what we have to understand, how we can establish the connection between PostgreSQL and Python. So this is the task what we have to do today. And then, so addition to that, we will learn. So this MySQL, what I worked last time, it was installed in my local. Okay. So now here, let us try to go for some kind of, cloud. Okay. So let us take some cloud database. Okay, and let us connect that particular cloud database with the Python program. So that is what we'll do. Now that means what? So last time I installed the MySQL database in local machine. Now I don't. I mean, even you can install this PostgreSQL, in your local machine as well. Okay, so you just type, PostgreSQL. So download. So you'll get that particular application. So download that particular application to your machine and install, and that server, it will create all the connection details you will get similar to MySQL, host, port, username, password, everything you will get. And then what you have to do, similar to MySQL, you just have to work. So many versions are there, you can download. Okay, so installer is there, you can download any version, any operating system version. Okay, so recent one being 13, version 13. Okay, Postgres. Okay, so now last time when we worked on the MySQL, we used MySQL Workbench. Okay, why we use MySQL Workbench as a IDE? Okay, as a IDE. Here, let us go for something, one more IDE. So that is PG admin. Okay, so this is a bit popular in PostgreSQL. So PG admin is IDE used for modifying PostgreSQL database. Okay, any PostgreSQL database management can be done using pgadmin IDE. Okay, so let us learn that tool also. So what you have to do, you just have to type you know pgadmin. Okay, so if you type pgadmin, you will get that particular pgadmin IDE. Okay, so you can download this particular application in your machine and you can work. Okay, so this is very popular IDE. Okay, for database management system. Okay, PostgreSQL. So let us learn this pgadmin also. And one special thing about today's class is basically we are going for a cloud PostgreSQL, and we are connecting that with Python. And uh, then, so now the question is, okay, at this particular point, you understood what the problem we are going to deal today? Any questions on the problem? So we are introducing some additional components. Otherwise, it will become similar to MySQL and Python connection. So same problem we can take up and we can work. But here we are going for some cloud database. Yes, yes. So yes, Chandra has PostgreSQL. We are doing in browser. So that pgadmin IDE is basically browser IDE. It's not a standalone application. It's a browser IDE. Okay. It also act like a server. Once you start that particular pgadmin, a server starts and it will open in a browser. Okay. Any questions? So what is today's agenda is basically connection of cloud database with the Python. Is that clear? Any questions? Okay. Now, so what cloud? I already told you. A few days back. Cloud means it's basically cloud providers. Okay, so cloud data means we just have to see who will provide the cloud database. So there are many people are there. Okay, cloud providers like Google Cloud providers, AWS. Okay, so all these people will provide the Google databases. So you can take it from anybody. So today I will introduce one cloud provider. Okay, I mean for the developers. Okay, it is very good cloud providers. That provider is called as Heroku. Okay, Heroku is basically a good cloud provider. So if you want to work on cloud related things, so you can start with this Heroku. Okay, so if you just have to type Heroku. Okay, so Heroku. So if you type Heroku, so you'll land up in heroku.com. So just go through this particular website. So they give a lot of add-ons. Okay, so they provide platform to deploy your application. Okay, so they'll give the platform to deploy various kind of application like Java application. Okay, Node.js application, Python application. Okay, so Clojure application. Okay, so Go application. So many things you can deploy in Heroku. So that kind of platform they will provide, and also they will give very good you know what is that the documentation. Okay, so they will provide a very good documentation. So just what you do, you just have to uh, just see the features what this platform provides. Okay, so that you have to do. So anyway, now what I'll do here to avail the services, okay, of this Heroku website. So what you have to do, you just have to register in heroku.com. Okay, so you just have to register in the Heroku website. Okay, so then I think it is directly going to the Yeah, you have to just register, and after registration, it's a simple registration. After registration, you just have to log in, and I'll just log into this particular application. Now this login page will look like this, and and what you can do, you can create a new application. Okay, so you can create new application. So I'll try to sign out. I'll try to sign out from this application. I'll just showcase in some other browser the main screen. It is going to the dashboard directly because I already logged in. So they'll provide a lot of add-ons like say database. Okay, so many mail related, email related things. You can see here many programming language support and lot of add-ons. Many things they will provide. Just look into that, and after that you just try to log in. Okay, and log in, and then what you just have to do. You just have to create one application. Okay, so here you have to create one application. So you just have to give some name. Okay, so here you just give one name, and then create app. So your application is created. Say for example, I just give one name. Okay, so name is basically some kind of Python classroom. Okay, so yeah, that is available now. So now what I'll do, I'll just create this, and I'll click on create classroom. Okay, create classroom. Now after this application is created. Okay, application is created. Then after that, you just have to go to resources. Okay, so here there is one item is there called add-on. Okay, so in the Heroku. So here if you type Postgres, okay, Heroku Postgres, you will get. Okay, so if you select that particular Heroku Postgres, so here you will get some free, service. Okay, so a free service. You just subscribe that particular service. Okay, so subscribe that service. Then under your application, this Postgres SQL database is added. Now that's all. Okay, done. So after that, you just click on this, Postgres, SQL database, and then you will see the Postgres SQL details. Okay, so Postgres SQL is created in Heroku. Okay, so that is what you have to understand. So this database is hosted in Heroku Cloud. Okay, this database is basically hosted in Heroku Cloud. Then what you have to do, you have to go to setting. Okay, and then you just click on view credentials. So these things you just have to copy and you have to paste, and you have to keep it in your in any of the notepad. So this is very important. Okay, so copy this. Okay, and just try to keep it somewhere in your notepad. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, so I just taken. So this is the details of that particular database. Okay, so this is the host URL, database name, username, port number, password, these things. So using these items, you can connect to this particular database. Okay, so that means that's all you have to do here. So that means in this particular setup, Heroku Cloud, Heroku Postgres SQL is ready. Okay, Heroku Postgres SQL database is ready. Cloud database is ready. Now you see the steps I'll repeat again. Okay, that's the steps I'll repeat again. So what you have to do, so you just have to go to this particular website called Heroku.com, Heroku.com, then sign up and log in. Okay, sign up and log in. After logging in, so what you will get, you will see, you will land up in this particular dashboard. Okay, there no empty application, you will get it. So you will get into this particular dashboard. So immediately at this particular dashboard, okay, so here you have to create one application. Okay, so there is one, just a second, it is, yeah, yeah, here. So you will get into this place. Then what you have to do, you just have to click on new and create app. After creation of app, then you just have to click on that particular application, go to resources. Under resources, you will get one option called add-on. There you type Postgres. Then select that one and click on that particular Postgres SQL. And then you will get this screen. Go to setting and view credential, and all the database details, whatever you get, you take it into some notepad. So Heroku PostgreSQL database is ready now. Okay, so that database is ready and that is ready for use. Okay, is it clear? So how to create a Postgres database in a cloud? Okay, that means in future, if you want to keep any data in cloud, first this is what you have to do. Okay, so you just have to create one database in cloud. So this this one is better, Heroku. Otherwise, if you want to go for the AWS and all, you may have to give credit card details and all. Even in the GCP, Google Cloud providers, you have to give credit card information, and a lot of issues are there. Even I lost somewhere around 5 to 10,000 rupees. With wrong, without monitoring the applications. So all those things happens. So that's why carefully you have to use cloud services. Okay, so pay as you go. So if you don't monitor carefully, then they will deduct amount from your credit card. So but here there is no such problems in Heroku. You have a free subscription. Okay, so that's why I prefer this. Okay, so those who want to explore cloud services, Heroku is the best point to start. Okay, so now you created a Heroku database. Okay, so that is done now. Now the next step is how to open that particular database using IDE. Okay, so now in MySQL, we have opened this particular table, right? Similarly, how I can open this particular, database. So I already told you the pgadmin is what you have to install. So you have to install pgadmin in your machine, pgadmin. Okay, you have to install pgadmin. Yeah. So this app is there, pgadmin app. You just have to open. Okay, so if you open this particular application, it will open in a browser. Can you see here? So the server instance will start. So now here, what you have to do? So this is a IDE. So browser IDE. Okay, so now what you have to do? You just have to add the one more server. So right click here. Okay, right click on the server, create new server. Okay, new server. So that means you just have to give the details. Say for example, what is this? This is uh, uh, Python class DB, something like that. Okay, so that name I just given. Then what is the connection detail? Connection detail, whatever you have taken from the while you created the database, just copy all those things and paste it here. So database name is basically some number. So they have generated all these things and they are given. Just paste all those things. So port number is 5432. Okay, so normally default PostgreSQL port is 5432 only. Okay, and then this password, you just paste it in this particular place. Okay, all are done. So save password. Okay, so then click on save. Okay, so if you click on save, just try to observe. Okay, so this kind of database should come. Okay, now can you see here? So the database is connected now. So you should be in a position to see this one in a tree structure, and there are a lot of databases are there. So you just have to see this one. Okay, so Control F, Control V in browser. So you can see here only this particular your database is is accessible to you. Other things, there is a cross mark. You can't access that particular database. So under that database, okay, go to schema. Okay, go to schema. Under that particular schema, you have a tables. So currently there is no tables, correct? There is no tables. So now similar to this. So what you did here, you are right clicked on this workbench, MySQL workbench, and you created a table, right? Similarly, here also you have to do the same thing. So right click on that, create new table. Okay, so create a new table. So what we have done uh, in MySQL workbench, similar to that, you have to do here as well. So maybe what is the table name? Consumers. Okay, so consumers is the table name what we have given. Okay, so then you just have to come to the columns, and then you have to add the columns. So what is the column names? Let us take. So first one is consumer ID, correct? Okay, consumer underscore ID. What is the data type? Data type is basically integer, correct? So it is basically integer. So just make that as integer. So it is a primary key. Okay, it's a unique ID and it won't repeat. Primary key, it should not be null also. Okay, and like that you have two more columns. Okay, very simple column. Energy units, correct? So energy units, and this is basically a double. Okay, so double precision value, and yeah, it can be null. Okay, it is not a primary key. So then energy bill. So same thing I'm just creating. Okay, so database schema is same. Okay, so bill also double precision value. Okay, so then what you're doing, so that's all. So you just have to click on save. Okay, so now what we have done, so we have created a table. Okay, we have created a table. Now you can right click on that particular table. Okay, and what you can do, you can view. Okay, you can view similar to MySQL workbench. You can view the table. Okay, you can view the table. Can you see here? The table is coming, and now you can load data here. So here I am just loading data, say 100 units. Okay, I don't know the bill amount, 0. Okay, can you see here? So then after that, you can save that particular value. Okay, you can save that one. Okay, so I applied. So now the new data is basically present in this in that particular table. Okay. Let me close this one. Okay, so I'll just reopen. So right click and view all rows. Okay, so I just given the query from ID. I'm just operating that particular database. Yeah, I think the data is not stored. So where is save button? Okay, it is there is no provision to save. I think okay, this column I think. Okay, so I just have to delete this one, I think. No. So there is here save data. Okay, so I just saved that particular data. That data will be there in this particular database. Now, so what are the things we have done? So now, if you see this particular picture, we have created we have subscribed this PostgreSQL database from Heroku Cloud providers. One thing we have done. The second one, we have used pgadmin to access this particular data. Okay, so to access this particular data, we used pgadmin, and we have created a table. Okay, we have created a table in PostgreSQL. Okay, so that too in cloud. So that means if I give this particular credential to you, then you can see that particular data in your machine as I mean from anywhere. So that data is available for anybody now. So I can connect that particular application from any web application or mobile application or any internet based application now. So that is possible. Okay, you got the things. What are the things we did now? So yeah, any questions? Any questions here? Any, if you have any questions, please do ask. I'm just moving ahead with this objectives. I'm trying to uh, convey these problem uh, with less effort. You know So the next one is what is pending. The pending work is how to connect this Postgres SQL with Python. Correct? How to connect this Postgres SQL with Python. So now, so let us take up one simple task. Okay, so what I'll do, I have written a simple program. Okay, so same, no, similar to your MySQL program connection. So instead of that, what I'll do, okay, in the connection details in the configuration file, I'll give the cloud details. So can you see here? Earlier it was localhost because I kept my database in my local machine. Now here I'm using cloud database, so hence I have to give the cloud host name. So similarly, I have given all other details. Okay, so then I written a simple program here. When you're working on the Python, okay, so this one you just have to install. What is this? So when you run this is basically the connector, so you have to run this particular command. Okay, so python dot psy copg2. Okay, so this command you just have to run. So that means this connector you just have to install in your machine. Okay, similar to mysql. When if you want to run mysql, you just have to use mysql dot connector. So equivalent to that, you have pyscopg2. So this is the connector what you have to use. Okay, so to connect to postgres database. So then the next commands you can see here. So now I connected to that particular database. Okay. So let me, you can see here, this is the connection, object I'm creating. Then I'm establishing the, connection between that particular database. I'm pointing to that particular database. Then what query I have to write? Okay. So what query I have to write? So now the query you know now. So when you go to this pgadmin, so you can open some query tool. Okay, and you can type the command. So now you can type some queries. Select, it is a SQL query only. So select star from consumers. Okay, so consumers. So then if you execute this particular query, let us see what happens. So I'm just executing that one. So select star from consumers. So it is returning all the things. So let us take the same query. Okay, so that query I have taken, I have just kept that one in the as a query. So select star from the consumer table. Okay, so that is the query I'm passing, and I'm fetching all the things. Then I'm trying to display that one. So basically, the first one is basically consumer ID, correct? So consumer ID. The second one is basically energy units. Okay, number of units, and the third one is energy bill, correct? Energy bill. Okay, so then fourth row I don't have. I just did that particular things, and after that I required one return. Okay, so then I'll just delete this much. Yeah, I just delete this one. So now what it should do now? So it has to display all the records from that particular Postgres SQL. Okay, so that is what I'm just expecting. So what is the problem? So so consumers. consumers does not exist. Okay, so I connected to the PostgreSQL, and then the database name is correct, and yeah, maybe table name dot. Yeah, is it a single quotes? Maybe. A single quote and double quote in Python is almost same, so there should not be any problem. Just check, some error it is throwing. Okay, let me run. Okay, yeah, here one. Just check the program. If you found any error, please let me know. Yeah, so consumers mostly I may have to give something like this. So consumer database name dot yeah, so there is that particular. Yeah, I am connecting. Okay, sorry. I just have to change this database. Okay, so sorry. I just given the previous database. Now this database I'll just uh, change the connection details. So database name. Okay, so username. Okay, so username and the password. Okay, password, and the remaining everything is same. Okay, now only consumer is sufficient. Now I'm not connecting to the now that this should work now, I think. Yeah, can you see here? So it is taking the data from the cloud database now. Okay, so now this is the program what you can use to connect with the cloud database and fetch the values. Okay, so how if you do any project, so based on your application, you choose how you want. But here what you have to learn basically how to create a cloud database and how to take that particular value. So here I'm taking to my Python program. You can take these values to when any web application or mobile application or to any other standalone application. Okay, so that is possible. So this is what we have done. So is there any question? Okay, so I think we have done the third part also. Okay, so what is that connection between your Python and PostgreSQL database? Okay, so all these items are covered today. What are the things covered? PostgreSQL database we understood, which is similar to MySQL, free and open source. Okay, so it's not a proprietary, you can install. Okay, PostgreSQL is better than MySQL and robust. Enterprise version is also available. And instead of installing in local machine, we try to subscribe the cloud PostgreSQL database from Heroku cloud provider. And then after subscription, okay, so we have just try to check or configure that particular database using pgadmin IDE. Okay, after working on that particular pgadmin IDE, and then we started connecting this particular PostgreSQL with with Python. Okay, so these are the things what we have covered today. Okay, any question on this particular topic and demonstration? Okay, so credentials after creation of the uh, you know uh, program. So what you have to do? So you just have to go to that particular, click on that particular application. Okay, click on that particular application. There you just there will be one option called resources. Go to resources, in add-on just type Postgres, then you will get one Heroku Postgres link like this. Okay, if you click on this particular link, okay, so it will land up in some statistic page, dashboard, okay, database dashboard. uh, you should not see here. Instead, you have to go to setting. Okay, so here they will provide 10,000 records. Okay, rows they will provide, and 20 concurrent connections and 8 MB of data. So that's the limit, and you have to go for setting. Okay, in setting there is one button called view credential. In setting, if you go to view credential, if you click there, it will just display, okay, the all the credentials, so you can take it and you can keep it. So, and you this will be useful when you are developing any application. Is that clear, Vishnu? Yeah, yeah. Okay, any other questions from anybody else? Last class only MySQL and Python. This class Postgres with cloud and connecting to Python. Okay, everybody understood what we have done today? And a lot of homework is there for you. Go to heroku.com, register yourself, and just for for your understanding, just go to this Heroku marketplace. Okay, so click on Heroku marketplace, and just click on this particular button, elements.heroku.com. So the and so you can see different types of add-ons they will provide. If you see the add-ons, very good add-ons they will provide, by just by subscribing, you can avail this. Many are free, okay, for the developers, okay, for fair configuration. So you can take that particular thing. Say for example, maybe some kind of email. Okay, so if you go to email, they have email service provider marketing things, and also all the email services, SMTPs, all those things. So they will provide all the things. Okay, data analytic toolbox, okay, databases, image processing, video processing, whatnot. So many things they will provide. So you can avail any service and you can use, like how we subscribed PostgreSQL database. Okay, so you can do some groundwork on this Heroku cloud, and deployment in Heroku. I'll just show you. And most of the programming language they will support. That is one good thing. And if you see, a lot of people have developed their applications of, I mean, what is that, websites, and they have kept in Heroku. Okay, so that is what normally developers will do. Okay, so you can also learn this one. So next class I will show you how you can deploy your application to Heroku, this one. Okay. So today PostgreSQL, try all these things: pgadmin, Postgres, Heroku. So many things are there for you to work. So is that fine?